Hello, I'm Luke Middlebrook, and we're going to be talking about the infrastructure required for a one-to-one device ratio program implemented at a school or district. The first thing that we need to address is bandwidth. Bandwidth is the amount of data that can be streamed from the internet. Imagine gasoline in a car. Without gasoline, the car does not move forward. Just like how our students cannot really access the internet without bandwidth. Bandwidth is the speed on which students can use educational apps. They can go from website to website. They can download content. When bandwidth is fast, we can do things like use Web 2.0. We can share documents in Google Drive. When it's slow, students have no ability to really manipulate or engage in content on the internet because they're taking too long to get from site to site. The State Educational Technology Directors Association, SETA, found at seta.org, recommends bandwidth for schools in the school year after next, which is the 2017-2018 academic year. An external internet connection requires 1 gigabyte per second per 1,000 students. An external internet connection is a direct connection to the internet, such as an Ethernet cord. So the best way to think about this is computer labs. Imagine every single student had a device in the computer lab, and they were all there at one time. If we were to do educational technology from these devices, we'd require 1 gigabyte per second per 1,000 students. So if we had 1,000 students in the school, the bandwidth we need would be 1 gigabyte. But we don't want this. What we want is devices that can access the network from different spots, a wide area network. We don't want a direct connection because we want students to take the device from one class to the next, to use it in the quad, to take it home, to access different networks. For this connection, it requires something different. It's like Wi-Fi. We need more bandwidth. We need 10 gigabytes per second per 1,000 students because students will be streaming and accessing the internet from different vicinities, so it needs to be a stronger strength and more bandwidth at a time. The next thing that needs to be addressed is network security. Schools must purchase an umbrella program to cover all devices from phishing and malware, including the devices that students take home. In order to maintain SIPA and E-rate compliance, schools must ensure student safety is accounted for. Purchasing a filter from a private company like OpenDNS for the flexibility of a one-to-one device ratio is optimal. The packages that are offered by OpenDNS can be found in the blue hyperlink below. When students take a device home and it's offered by the district, they still need to be protected by the district. So the software that is implemented and downloaded by the district and purchased by OpenDNS, every time a student goes onto any network, the filter program stops students from accessing inappropriate content, from downloading inappropriate content, from malware and phishing, so we can protect their information to make sure that their identity is constantly being protected and they're making sure they're not accessing inappropriate material. This program can also be downloaded on all our school devices, so we can get a better option and a better deal for the more devices we purchase. So this would be perfect for schools who have a huge one-to-one device ratio and they want to make sure every single device on their campus is covered. This would make things very straightforward and very easy, making sure every device is the exact same on coverage from malware and phishing. For asset security, devices are a major part of any school or district's vision. There's substantial investment and require protection from fair use and from possible theft. Two things must be met in order to make sure that security is a top priority. Purchasing a cart that charges and protects the devices in every classroom that devices stay overnight. So this makes sure that devices that are on campus during non-school hours or non-educational hours are still protected and can be charged to be used when students come back in. So I know that some classes in our district and some schools prefer to have a one-to-one and then have additional backups. If this is the case, then make sure that your school or district has a cart that can be provided to protect these assets when no one is on campus. Protect it from threat and theft. The next thing that must be met is purchase bags or covers for all devices for students to carry the device home. We know that students have a lot of things going on in their life. They have to carry books, they have to pull homework out, they have to shift around, they have to put lunch in their backpack. And to make sure that the devices are cared for, by getting a bag or a cover allows for all the devices to be protected when they're not being used in an educational setting. This can ensure that there's not a lot of replacement of devices. It makes sure that devices are less damaged when we get them back at the end of the year. In order to make sure that devices are maintained, purchase a bag, purchase a cover. The acceptable use policy. San Diego County Office of Education has an internet usage policy for devices. This will be used at home and on the school site. It details how students will interact with other students. The policy of no bullying, no cyberbullying online. Make sure not to access inappropriate content, not to download inappropriate content. How the device will be protected, and how students will have citizenship when they're online. This document should be signed by students and the families to acknowledge the understanding in accordance with the policy, to make sure that every time we have a student using a district device, they are using it knowing the policy. The usage policy for home to school program. In addition to the usage policy detailed by San Diego County Office of Education, there will be an additional article stating that students are responsible for bringing the devices to school every day. A district needs to make sure that educational technology is being used, and to make sure that's happening, ensuring students bring the device to school every single day. So that'll be part of the policy that they sign off on, is that they will bring their device with them and they will not forget it at home. Like a pencil, we can't have students write an essay without the materials. So we need to make sure they're bringing the device in order to maintain the high level of engagement and education that we can offer with this technology. In addition, the district takes no responsibility to damages that are caused by the student off or on campus to the district provided device. Damages and cost will be repaired by the students. If a student damages a device, it is not the district's responsibility to replace it, it will be the students. That will be located in the usage policy and will detail the insurance on how students can provide payment or purchase a lease for the device and provide repairs. We need to make sure that districts are protected and schools are protected from high expenditures on replacing devices that they did not damage. And this is one way we can put the responsibility in the student's hand and make them even more accountable for their learning and provide them more skills to be a 21st century learner. Carrie Strong is now going to detail some common hurdles that districts are going to experience and can be avoided and resolved. Thank you.